If the wall is breached, Helm's Deep will fall.
Even if it is breached, it would take a number beyond reckoning, thousands, to storm the keep.
Tens of thousands.
But, my lord, there is no such force.
A new power is rising. Its victory is at hand. This night, the land will be stained with the blood of Rohan. March to Helm's Deep. Leave none alive. To war! Door for men.
This is the classic series Saruman the White and the limited edition Fire of Orthanc by Weta Workshop. It's a 1/6 scale figure of Saruman as depicted in The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. The classic series Saruman is an open edition, while the Fire of Orthanc is a limited edition of 250 that was exclusive to retailers. And I picked this up from CastleCon. The box is pretty typical of what we see of Weta and their 1/6 figures. It's got some great artwork and some information on Saruman and the Fire of Orthanc, as well as some behind the scenes bits. See pictures of Richard Taylor and Leonard Ellis, and as well as some great artwork on Saruman and some other classic series figures. But let's get it opened up and take a look at what's inside. My first impressions are that it's pretty well packed and I like what I see. So that you got the base of the Fire of Orthanc. It looks like it was sculpted by Sean Bolden, and my edition number is 169. It's got the obsidian floor of Orthanc for the base there. Saruman has a similar base. The details look really good, is my first impression. It was sculpted by Daniel Holland. Great job, Daniel. So let's take a look at the bomb. So the packaging is done really well. I don't think you're going to have to worry about this breaking and shipping. Mine was not damaged. My first thoughts were it looked kind of like a deep fried onion bloom, and then like a medieval hand grenade. The texture and the painting on it are really well done. It looks like metal, like a wrought iron cast piece. So the detailing and the paint are fantastic, and you can see the gunpowder in there. It's got a little kind of key slot on the bottom where it sits into the base. Could have maybe been a little bit bigger, but I understand why they went the way they did, so it wasn't obvious. So let's talk about the pose and the details. So I really love the pose that they went with on Saruman here. A lot of the time we see him holding the Palantir, and I had really hoped when they announced Saruman as a classic series that that wouldn't be the case. And I really like what they did because this works with a Hobbit display as well as a Lord of the Rings display. And that's really great to see. It's just a really elegant pose. So, in terms of pose and kind of concept, I would give it a 10 out of 10. So, let's move on to details and likeness. It's kind of tricky for details on just fabric. There's not a whole lot that they can do, but Saruman's cloaks and robes are a little bit different because they have a lot of embroidery. And Weta really managed to capture that, as well as the age of Saruman, the wrinkles on his face, on his hands. They're really well done, and the likeness, I think, is spot on. I think it's a great likeness. It definitely looks like Christopher Lee, like Saruman, and for it being an open edition piece, I think you could not ask for a better likeness in this statue. So let's talk about the bomb. I think it's great. The paint and texture and detailing is phenomenal on it. It looks like real metal. I think it's a great idea too. I love that it's a cool little exclusive. I hope Weta does more of this in the future. And I also like that I can display this with many different things. Saruman, Helm's Deep, if I wanted the the new or the old Uruk swordsman, and I hope Weta makes like the torch-bearing Uruk in the future, and because this would pair wonderfully with it. So as you can see, compared to the older Sideshow Weta Saruman, the details are just so much more superior on the new one. The likeness is much better. Not that the old one was bad, and for its time it was a great statue, but you can really tell and see the benefits of digital sculpting and how much more detailed the classic series Saruman is. I can't recommend it enough. I think for likeness, pose, details, it's a 10 out of 10 for me, and I think Weta did a phenomenal job on it. So I can't recommend it enough.